to another video, and today it's the eve of the MLB postseason, the playoffs. It's a great time of year, and just a disclaimer, in today's video I'm just going to be going through my playoff predictions, and I'll tell you how I think each of these series will pan out, who will advance, and who will eventually, win the Fall Classic, win the World Series. But I don't want to be like just one of those guys that has like the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series or something like that. Just something very bland, something that most people predict this time of year, and it really hasn't happened in decades. So I think I'm gonna stick to my guns and go with my gut on a lot of these series and see what happens because that's really what these playoffs are about. Who gets hot at the right time and who catches fire. So the first wild card series in the American League, the 4-5 matchup between the Orioles and the Royals. I think it's pretty even, actually. I like things about both of these teams. Um, I'm going to actually give the edge to the Royals in this one because of their pitching. You know, you have Cole Ragans, and you have guys like Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo behind them, and even guys like Brady Singer, really, really good pitchers, front of the line rotation pieces that they have, and it's just a three-game series, so I think that's gonna, if they do end up advancing, like I think they will, they're gonna be in a good spot in the DS as well because of their depth in the starting rotation. So I compare that to Baltimore's kind of depleted starting rotation behind Corbin Burns, who's also been sputtering as of late. I'm definitely going to go with Kansas City here. I think this is a young team. They're not afraid of the moment, and I know it's easy to say that beforehand, but I really don't see this team laying an egg in the playoffs. I think they're going to hit. I think Bobby Witt Jr. hits anywhere, anytime, and Salvador Perez has seen it all with this team. So I really like Kansas City. I think I would have to imagine that Baltimore's favored in this series, but I'm going to go with Kansas City for sure. Um, okay, and then we have Houston and Detroit. I'm actually going to go with Houston here because I just think their experience playing at home, that crowd, um, they're a very experimented roster, and I'm going to go with them here. I think that's going to edge out the young up and coming Detroit Tigers. Guys like Riley Green. It's a hell of an achievement to even get to this point. So credit to them. But I think I'm going to go with Houston there. I think in the National League it's a lot more straightforward in the sense that there's some really good teams, but yeah, this Padres Braves series is pretty cut and dry in my opinion. The Braves just got in this earlier today. They had to split the doubleheader against the Mets, and I'm giving the Padres a leg up because for many reasons. They've been more consistent all year, especially since the All-Star break. They were one of the best teams in baseball. They're kind of clicking at the right time. They're at home. They're more rested. They didn't play a doubleheader the day before. Um, and I think they're kind of the only thing that can kind of hold back the Padres is if they're looking forward, if they're looking ahead to like the next series with the Dodgers that looms or something like that. Just take care of business one game at a time against Atlanta. You should get through, and then you worry about the next thing when it gets here. But I'm going to go with San Diego here. I like them to make a deep run, and that starts with beating the Braves. I'm going to go with the Mets. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Mets because they're also hot, and that does matter a ton in October. But I think this might be the longest series because I can see either of these teams, winning it. I can see either of these teams advancing to the division series. Milwaukee, guys like Willie Adames and Jackson Churio in the middle of that lineup. A lot of talent there, but I just see a look in that Mets clubhouse behind guys like Lindor and stuff like that. They're hungry. I think they want to seize this moment. Um, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of ambition in this team. So yes, they're the sixth seed apparently. So they're gonna have to battle and win some road games throughout this postseason. But I think they're more than capable of that. Um, yeah, it's a hot team. It's a hungry team, and I don't want to bet against them right now. So I'm going to take them over Milwaukee. Okay, so now we move on to round two, the division series. Um, yeah, starting off here with the Yankees. I think this is the most complete team they've had, not wins wise because they've won 100 games in previous years and 2019 and stuff like that. But this is a complete team in the sense that they can beat you in multiple ways. You know, they have a presence from the left side, from the left-handed batter's box for the first time in years, and that's not just Juan Soto. That's guys like Ben Rice and Anthony Rizzo when he's been healthy, and Jason Dominguez now that he's been called up. Alex Verdugo at times, although he's had an abysmal year for the most part. But just having that presence from the left side, Austin Wells, of course, behind the plate, that's really helped out this roster. I think this might be the postseason that Aaron erupts. And if Aaron Judge erupts in a postseason, I think that's pretty much game over for anyone they face because he hasn't had that dominant October run yet. And he's just um, a player that you expect him to have that kind of postseason run because he's that good. So I think this is the year he puts it together. Um, Kansas City's a really good team. I can see them taking a game or two, but um, overall, I'm going to go with the Yankees for sure. Houston and Cleveland, I like Houston. They kind of just played right now at the end of the regular season. I know that's not the exact same like leverage and stakes as a 5-game division series, but I'm going to go with Houston again because of their experience. There's just something about this team that lets them win in October late in the year. 88 games is much lower than what they're accustomed to, but wins are down across the league, so I'm looking too much into that. Um, yeah, guys like Altuve and Jordan Alvarez and stuff like that. I really like Framber Valdez. He's as good of a one. He's as good of an ace as there is in this league, so you can never count out Houston. And yes, that looks like a repetitive American League Championship Series, but I think the National League Championship Series will look different. Okay, so two division series in the National League that feature teams in the same division. That makes for some fireworks, for some um, really tasty affairs, and I'm going to go with San Diego and the Mets. Two upsets, the top two seeds losing. This isn't just me trying to spice it up. This is me actually thinking that San Diego doesn't fear Los Angeles. They won the season series. Um, and the Mets have been playing postseason baseball for like 2 months now, so they're not going to be scared of the moment. They don't have to worry about flipping the off switch back on, kind of like the Phillies do. So I think the Mets are going to be ready. I think they know the ballpark in Citizens Bank. They kind of know what atmosphere awaits them. They've played some big games there over the years. Yeah, and I think they're gonna go in there and punch them in the mouth. Maybe win, maybe win in Game 4 in Citi Field, and they don't even let this series get back to Philadelphia. But I like the Mets there. I like the Padres there as well. They beat the Dodgers in round one. When was that? 2 years ago, 2022, I believe, and I don't see why they can't do it again. Then I'm going to go with the Yankees and the Padres in the World Series, a rematch of '98, and with a similar result, the Yankees winning the World Series. This isn't me just exercising my wishful thinking as a Yankees fan. This is me thinking that the stars have aligned. Yes, the league it feels like it's very wide open. It doesn't feel like there's an absolute juggernaut, but if there is one, I think the closest thing is the Yankees. Judge, Soto, there's nothing better in a 2 and 3 spot in the order. Garrett Cole healthy. Clark Schmidt can really contribute. Carlos Rodon has some bullets in him. Luis Heel. I like this team. I think they're not absolutely peaking at the right time, but I feel like this year's different. And yeah, time will tell. I'm pretty confident in this bracket, but let's see if I can get off to a good start tomorrow. Please let me know if you think there's anything that I got egregiously wrong. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and let's see how the playoffs unfold tomorrow.